Hi Mama, welcome to this prenatal yoga flow designed for softening through the pelvic floor. My name is Maya and I'm going to be your teacher on this journey today. So all we are going to need is a yoga mat, a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, getting a firm pillow or even a couch cushion is a great substitute. And lastly, and most optional, are 2 yoga blocks. If you have yoga blocks, awesome. If you don't even worry about it. And before we really get into the practice, I would like to take a second to really explain why it is important to soften through the pelvic floor for pregnancy and birth. A lot of the times we see videos and blog posts and social media posts about strengthening the pelvic floor. And although strengthening the pelvic floor is important, especially during postpartum, it's super important during pregnancy and especially during birth that your pelvic floor is soft and it's able to open up and release. And reason being, if you're, in labor and you're trying to push out your baby, if your pelvic floor is too strong and too tight, your body is not going to open up and release to let your baby out. So, it is super important during pregnancy that we're doing practices that are going to help you learn how to really soften into that pelvic floor and release. That way your labor is just that much smoother. Okay, awesome. And before we get started, I would like to note, pause the video and go to the restroom, okay? Anything that is inside of you can be a hindrance to this practice. So if you need to pee, if you need to poop, go ahead and pause the video and handle that, and then we'll come back. Okay, so assuming you have done your business and you're ready to go, let's go ahead and get right into the practice. We will begin in a comfortable seated position. So I'm going to sit on the bolster. Sit on whatever you have in place of your bolster today, and sit in a position that feels comfy to you. We're going to place one hand on your heart and the other hand on your baby, maybe closing down your eyes. And let's take a few breaths together. Inhale in, filling up the lungs. And as you exhale, open up the mouth and let it go. Inhale in. And exhale. Softening the shoulders, releasing the jaw. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale in. And let it go. Go a few more times, following along at your own pace. With every exhale, relaxing a little more. Really allowing yourself to sink into the support. Take one more big breath in. And completely let it go. So today's class intention is all about releasing and softening for birth. Today's mantra is I release. So if at any point in today's practice you notice your mind has wandered, bring it back to our statement of the day, which is I release. Okay, beautiful. So you're probably sitting crisscross. Let's go ahead and switch out your legs, putting the other one in front, noticing how this feels different in your hips. Okay. This time, as we inhale, we're going to imagine we are scooping up some butter. I know it sounds weird, but imagine you're scooping up butter. So we're going to feel the pelvic floor engage and lift up as we inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to relax and completely release through the pelvic floor and the rest of the body. As you exhale, imagining that the butter is melting. And we're going to keep doing that. So as you inhale, scooping up the butter. And as you exhale, letting the butter melt. This is just going to give us a moment to get in tune with what the pelvic floor is doing. So, as you're ready, inhale in as you engage and scoop up, almost like you're tightening your butthole. And as you exhale, completely release and let it go, imagining the butter is melting. So as you release, bring yourself back to how it feels when you sit on the toilet. Okay, so completely relaxing and letting everything go. Let's do that again. Inhale in, scooping it up, tightening up your butthole. And as you exhale, completely release and let the butter melt. Okay, you get the idea. So let's do this a few more times together. Inhale in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale in and let it go. And go a few more times with your breath. Maybe closing down the eyes to really feel into the body. One more time by yourself. Okay. Now, we're going to continue with that breath and with that engagement and relaxation. But this time I'm going to count. So we're going to inhale for the count of 4 and exhale for the count of 6. So when you're ready, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, engage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale to engage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale and relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, engage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful job, mama. Take a moment to close down the eyes and notice what you're feeling in your body and what you're feeling in the pelvic floor. And slowly opening up the eyes, we will move into our Malasana pose, or better known as deep yogi squat. So placing both of your feet flat on the mat, and it's totally up to you if you stay sitting on your bolster or if you move it to the side. But before you make that decision, let me show you what we're doing. So placing your hands at heart center and really pushing into your knees with your elbows, opening up the hips here. If you stay sitting on your bolster, you're going to have to work just a little harder to release the pelvic floor. So if it is accessible to you today, go ahead and slide the bolster to the side and let yourself hang out here. We're going to begin just rocking side to side, finding some movement here and getting comfortable. And as you're ready, finding some stillness, maybe closing down the eyes and really feeling into the pelvic floor. So, to give you a visual, the pelvic floor is really like right here. It's this area of your body. We're just going to really relax into that space. And as you sit here in yogi squat, just noticing how gravity is helping open up the pelvic floor. When you're in this pose, you almost have to force yourself to engage to not relax the pelvic floor. So just really settle in relaxing and releasing, okay? So no need to pucker up your butthole or like engage the core or do anything crazy here. Just completely relaxing and allowing gravity to help open you up. Beautiful job. Once again, let's take some breaths here. This time, instead of big, deep breaths, we're just going to take normal inhalations and exhalations, okay? And we'll take about 5 by yourself, okay? So tapping into your breath and focusing on what you're feeling in your body. Really noticing that heavy sensation that you're feeling. And if you notice your mind wandering, reminding yourself of today's mantra, I release. I release. Just take one more breath by yourself. Placing the right hand down on the mat out in front of you. As the left arm comes up to the sky for a gentle twist here. Maybe rotating the wrist, going in the other direction. And bringing the hands back to heart. Opposite side. Left arm reaches out to the side as your right arm comes up for a twist. Taking wrist rotations. And the other direction. And bringing the hands back to heart. Beautiful job. Let's find our box pose. So bringing the knees down, maybe tucking the toes under, planting the hands on the mat. We will inhale for cow pose as you glance up, opening up through the pelvic floor, allowing it to be open here. Now as you exhale, tucking in the chin, rounding the spine, being mindful to still keep the pelvic floor open and released. Inhale, cow pose. Completely relaxing. And exhale, cat. Trying your best to stay soft here. It is our instinct to, tighten up through the pelvic floor. I really want you to focus on keeping it soft. Inhale, cow pose, opening up. And exhale, cat, remaining that softness. Remaining soft. Inhale. And exhale. And continue with your cat and cow. Going along at your own pace. And one more time. Inhaling for the cow pose. And exhaling cat pose. Finding your neutral spine. Swinging the legs around to come onto your bottom. And find butterfly pose. Bringing the soles of your feet together. Opening up the hips. If this feels a little too intense, you can always bring the blocks under the knees. And if you don't have blocks, you could use pillows or even books to go under the knees, just to give you a little more support. Okay, now as we're here, imagining that the pelvic floor is opening and softening, kind of like a hammock. Okay, so just letting it sway, letting it open up, and knowing that the jaw is almost directly linked to the pelvic floor. So if at any point you notice that you're tightening up the jaw, I would love for you to really focus on what you're feeling in the jaw and to soften and release. Okay? So, keeping the jaw soft, keeping the shoulders soft, and most importantly, keeping the pelvic floor soft. Let's tuck the chin into the chest and just breathe here. We will take 5 cycles of breath, really visualizing that hammock as you completely release down through the pelvic floor and open up. Reminding ourselves of today's mantra, I release. I release. Say it with me. I release. On your next inhale, slowly rising back up. And we will find our final resting pose. So I will show you the first variation if you have blocks. So if you have blocks and a bolster today, you're going to set yourself up with one block on the tallest setting and the second block on the shortest setting. You want them to be kind of close but not touching. And with the bolster, we are going to rest it over these blocks, really ensuring that it is firm and stable before you lean back on it. Okay, bringing the tailbone to the bottom of the bolster, bringing the feet into butterfly pose. If this is too intense, you always have the option to bring the feet flat onto the mat and slowly roll yourself down and really settle into this support. Okay, this is your first option. If today you have a bolster, but you do not have blocks, then we are going to take our final resting pose, lying down on the left side and placing the pillow or the bolster in between your legs. So just coming down onto the side, resting the legs in between the bolster, and taking fetal pose. It is totally up to you if you create a pillow with the arm, have the arm out straight. Really, it's whatever feels best to you. So finding whatever pose you took and settling into it. Allowing yourself to really soak up this practice. And reminding yourself of our mantra, I release. I release. Say it with me. I release. Please stay here for as long as you would like. There is no rush to get out of this final resting pose. This is exactly where I will be leaving you today. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Please like it and share with somebody you think could benefit from this practice. And of course, if you enjoyed this and would like more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. That way you can always be in the know. Thank you once again for joining me. I am so very grateful to have you here. I wish you the very best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!